Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the GWC 411 Unscripted. I'm JR.
And I'm Monica.
And so we have a special guest with us today, right?
Yes.
A very interesting guest as we're talking off camera.
Because I think we got you like super like he almost like walked away because he thought this specific topic was not for him.
Well, not for men. I was
Not
like,
for
because
him,
when she was asking you certain questions, I was like, maybe I should step out on this one here, you know? She's like, nope, you go through it too. I was like, whoa, okay. So it's very, very interesting. I'm excited about this to learn about myself.
Actually, I am too, because we never get enough education about certain things, and then things are changing. So I can't wait. So today we have Corry. Corry, why don't you formally introduce yourself?
All right. Well, I'm Corry Varner. I'm a certified nurse midwife as well as a nurse practitioner. I have my doctorate in nursing practice. I've been practicing for over 18 years, and I have a specialty in hormone replacement. For the hormone replacement, I do all different types of hormones for synthetic and bioidenticals, but I mainly have been focusing on bioidenticals for the last 6 years.
Wow. And what's so cool about it?
Real quick, what's bioidenticals?
Oh.
I mean, you're going to have to really educate. I know because you already you learned about this, but...
So with bioidenticals, those are more of your organic hormones. They are made to be more like your own body instead of the pharmacological or synthesized hormones.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I was so interested in bringing this to the to our podcast and to talk about it with our audience is because I've actually am a patient actively receiving this hormone therapy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so and because I believe in it 100%, I just thought this could possibly change women's lives. Not probably, but
yeah. How about our viewers?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited to learn about myself right now. Because you already know, guys, but I'm excited. This is very interesting.
And that's what I like about you, too, because at first you're very hesitant about certain things. He becomes very hesitant because he's like, oh, that's not for me. But then, you're, when you bring education, we're never educated enough about certain things, right? Especially the way things change. So let's get right into it.
Yes. I have questions.
So first and foremost, I know everybody thinks that they know what hormones are, but maybe you can define that better for us.
Yeah. So I try to keep hormones pretty basic for my clients. So every person has 4 main hormones in their body. Whether we're talking about males or females, we're talking about testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and thyroid. So with testosterone, we're talking about your sexual drive as well as your muscles. With estrogen, it's the happy pill. Your progesterone is your stabilizer, and your thyroid is your metabolism.
Okay.
So I figure if you keep it simple, people remember.
And men and women have that.
Yes. So they just have different dosages of it. Obviously,
Yes.
men are going to have more testosterone than women do.
Right.
But men do have estrogen as well. People always are assuming, oh, well, women have estrogen and progesterone, men have testosterone, but we actually have all of them.
Because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I literally thought, like, as I get older, they shared with me that, as guys, as we talk, that I'm going to be losing testosterone. That's all I've been shared.
Yeah, so actually, between the ages of 30 and 70, men will lose about 1 to 3% of their testosterone yearly.
Wow.
So men will normally start to feel those symptoms of it in their early 30s and continue to build on it, where they'll be taking those afternoon naps that they didn't always used to take, start developing the weight in the stomach.
The dad bod.
That they didn't always have. The body just aches a lot more than it used to. Not wanting to go out and do things, harder to build the muscle in the gym like it used to. Sometimes the relationship with the wife struggles a little bit, not always, but that can be a factor too.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And I know earlier we were talking about, I really wanted to get into this because she brought up a really good
point.
Yes, a really good point, and it really wanted to bring that to the to the conversation, and that is, while a woman is going through menopause, so is the man. So explain that to us, because that was very interesting.
And the reason why she's saying that, sorry, is because I said, "Oh, yeah, the woman goes through it," and she's like, "No, you go through it too."
So what we find with women is that there are going to be different stages of menopause, and so a lot of people will believe that menopause for women will start when you're no longer having periods. But the symptoms of menopause could actually start 10 to 15 years before that.
Wow.
Where you're getting the hot flashes, you're getting the mood changes, the body aches, the vaginal dryness, the decreased sexual desire. And so if most women will go through menopause between 45 and 55, then you're looking at these symptoms possibly coming as early as 30 to 35.
Wow.
So if men are losing their testosterone starting in their 30s, women are starting possibly getting moody in their 30s, what happens for men is as their testosterone goes down, their estrogen doesn't go down. And so that imbalance occurs. You mentioned you have this ratio for men where you want them to have estrogen, because if you have too little estrogen, then they get the roid rage. If they have too much estrogen, they get really moody and whiny. So you want to keep this nice balance of it. But if the testosterone's going down, you're losing that balance. So they're more likely to nitpick at their partner. Where then with women, if their hormones are starting to get off, they're getting in that perimenopausal, they're going to nitpick at their partner too. And so then they both are at each other and they think it's the other one, and no one sees it in themselves.
Oh, wow. And that's so true, though.
It is.
Now that you think about it, because look at you.
I think this is the best counseling I've ever had in my life.
We're saving marriages.
Yes, you're saving marriages on a daily.
Wow. Yeah, this show could take a new turn. Yeah. So that's very interesting. That's actually very interesting,
It is.
and it's a good point, because that actually does happen, right? And so tell us. What is how do we address these things, and what is the solution? Because I know that you are currently working on something that you're going to share with us about.
Okay. So when we're looking at, well, let me ask, do you want me to talk about men or women first?
Let's talk about men.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's go after the men.
All right. So when we're talking about men, you're wanting to look at labs and see where their testosterone actually is. So in the United States, there's a ratio for testosterone that says any man with between 18 and 80, if their testosterone is at 250 or above, then that is considered normal. But I don't know a 30 or 40-year-old man who wants their testosterone to be the same as an 80-year-old.
That is very true.
Yeah. Also, if you look at other countries in Europe, they consider a testosterone below 600 abnormal and low. So that is a big difference of where in the U.S. we consider you needing to be below 250 to be normal. And with studies out there, they find that when men are below 600, they have an increased risk for heart disease, diabetes. They're more prone to obesity, more prone to depression, and to erectile dysfunction. So it opens them up to a lot more different types of diseases.
Interesting.
So it's not only just feeling good, but also that longevity and living longer and better.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, going to my regular, OBGYN through my network, my health network, I remember when I first went, it was just, I had all these issues that were going on, and I was able to bring them up to my gynecologist, and yet when I got my my blood work, and she just called me and told me everything's fine, you're good, PAP was great, and then that was it. But I still experienced all these things, and it was so sad, because I thought, do I have to live with this for the rest of my life? I couldn't understand it, not being able to sleep the way I should be sleeping. So it created more weight gain, having all these cravings and eating, and just feeling really like when I didn't work, I was tired like the majority of the time. I don't even know how I survived my 30s, you know? And it was so hard until, you know, I decided to take a step further just by going to a regular visit with a different doctor that now had the same education about this hormone therapy that I started looking into, and then everything that I had mentioned to my previous gynecologist, then I mentioned to him, and he was just like, you know, because the list was so long, you know. But somebody was hearing me. And I think it was the best part, you know, about this whole visit. I didn't even care about the money. I didn't care about anything. I just wanted to feel like myself again. And I didn't think that was ever going to happen, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
And that's one of the things that's really important about when choosing a provider, is that you find a provider who actually knows hormones and can read your labs and look at your symptoms and say, okay, what are we truly dealing with? Because if you don't have a provider who knows what they're doing on this and specializes in hormones, they're going to look at your labs and say, yeah, they're normal. But you have to take into account the whole picture. It's not just getting a piece of paper and saying, oh yeah, this isn't. When I get a client and I'm saying, okay, these are our labs, but what symptoms are going in here? What are, you know, where are we staging for women? Where are we at in her actual, is she still bleeding? Is she not? We're looking at the whole person. I'm not treating a lab number. I'm treating a human being. And you have to take that into account. So when someone is looking for a provider, they need to find someone like that.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, as far as what you were saying about in your 30s, that's probably because you're starting the perimenopausal time that you were having these symptoms. And even if your labs are showing you're not in full menopause yet, there are different treatments out there that can be taken with bioidenticals that, no, we can't do something with synthetics, but with bioidenticals you can treat somebody and help them through that perimenopausal time.
Wow, I think I always tell everybody, you know, from my age, which I'm not going to reveal, I feel like I'm living the best years of my life. I feel like, you know, for the past, 5-6 years that I'm living the best years of my life. Like, don't ask me how, and it's not even a mental thing. It's because I remember being 34 years old. Now, you know, I'm not in my 30s, being 34 years old and having my first hot flash. I remember that day like I remember the birth of my first child. I went and I was sleeping and I woke up and I was drenched and I felt pain in my face and my body, and I had to open the freezer because I wasn't going to open the door at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I stuck myself in the freezer and I closed it behind me, and it was like, but it lasted, I don't know, maybe, 3-4 minutes or something like that. And then it kind of gradually started going away. And then I was able to sleep. I never got one of those again, ever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm 34 years old and I'm having this flash, this hot flash. And I even called my mom and I said, do you get those all the time? Is that what you get? And then I felt bad for my mom because I remember my mom having them consistently. And that's when I really started to like trying to find out, what can I do to avoid this? And it was scary.
Well, do men do that too?
It was really scary.
We don't have that, right?
So men will more likely they don't normally have like hot flashes like that.
Yeah, I don't experience
no,
like
men
that.
their sweating can change, their sleep patterns will change, they'll have more irritability, but men normally don't have hot flashes.
Okay, because that sounds scary.
Yeah, I mean,
it was.
I mean, I have some clients who have hot flashes, multiple times a day.
Wow.
So, I mean, currently I have a client who has them every hour.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
didn't your mom have one when she was here?
I don't know.
When she got near the fan and she just was like hot and it was so cold.
I don't know. I don't remember, but man.
So, I mean, so like when we're looking at, or when I talk to a client and I do a consultation, I take into account, okay, what symptoms are you having, especially like hot flashes, how often are you having them, so that I can see, okay, is your treatment working? Are they coming less? Mm-hmm. Do I need to change up your dosing? The way, like, if any of my clients are listening, they've heard this before, but I compare hormones to cooking, okay? You know how there's some people who cook and they just follow the recipe and that's how it is. Okay. And then there's some like amazing cooks that's like they had their recipe and then they've changed it up and it's always better because they've done the finesse to it.
Yes.
Okay, that's how I see hormones.
Okay.
You start with a basic and then you change it to your client and their needs and you individualize every pattern of the hormones because you want that person to live their best life. I don't promise people that I'm going to make you 25 again.
Of course not.
Okay, but I'm going to help you to live the best life of whatever age you are now. We're going to help you live that best life.
Interesting.
So that's what hormone optimization is all about.
Well, isn't it because you have to adjust too? Because we're not the same body type, correct?
Exactly.
So what you're trying on somebody else, that dose might not be working for the other person because we're all
she goes
different.
based on labs, on your labs.
Well, labs, yeah. But that's what she's saying. Like it's like food, like it's your taste. Well, we're referring to food, it's your taste buds and the different flavors and stuff. But with people too, we're all different. So we're all different. Does somebody have to have insurance to go to you?
So insurance actually doesn't cover bioidenticals.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what type of insurance you have, it doesn't cover bioidenticals.
Yeah, it's something that, unfortunately, but is it worth? Yes. I mean, we're not going to talk about that.
I think it's worth it because you're very nice at work. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. All right, guys.
Yeah. No, but
Dave. I'm with Carlos Puente with Cardon Media. Carlos, what exactly is Cardon Media?
Cardon Media is like a one-stop shop for businesses. Basically, what we do is we get you business formation, LLC, whatever corporation, then we move you over to our next step, web hosting, Microsoft 365, make you look professional. Well, then we move you over to our marketing side, where if you need a billboard, business cards, branding, magazine ad, whatever, get the word out, we take care of you. So we're a one-stop shop from beginning to end.
And where can people find you?
www.cardonmedia.com, or just go to our Instagram page. We also publish the San Gabriel Valley Now magazine, so you can also check out our Instagram page, sgv.now.
So if you're looking for something that he just said right now for your needs, your business needs, make sure you guys call Carlos with Cardon Media.
Hey everyone, we're here with our beautiful patient Melody, and we are going to do quite a few things today. We're going to do another round of lip filler. Last one was about 8 months ago, and that's just going to be a little bit more hydration, and then we're going to do a little sprinkle of some Jeuveau or Tox.
No, and I think now, with my husband, him, because I had just gotten married when I started all this, and I really felt like, I owed it to myself, to try something different, and I truly believe that, you try something, it's working because you're just feeling different. And I was happy to know that it was not a drug, that it was not anything that was going to harm me in any way. I mean, they explain everything to you. There's always, certain things, with everything that you do, but it works out for me. It worked out for me. And I know a couple of friends that are currently doing it that has really changed their lives as well. And it makes me happy to see them. The look in their face, I don't know, something about, I felt gray. And then all of a sudden I just felt like I had like there was brightness in my in who I saw in the mirror, and that's when I knew that I saw myself different, because I'm still, I still consider myself being young, and I just thought, my life cannot go that way. I'm not okay with, being divorced and not feeling like I want to be married or have a partner. I felt like I owe that to myself. So. But there's a lot of women that do live like they feel like it's okay to get divorced and never have, relationship again, because that's where that's where your hormones, I think, does to you. You don't feel like you need them anymore. And I just think that's just a waste of human life.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times we associate that desire just with the sex part. It's an intimacy that comes, and as you get older, you still want a partner. You still want that companionship, and so I think that if you don't have that desire, then a lot of couples are missing out on that intimacy.
And you owe that to yourself. I mean, because we're not meant to be alone, men and women. We want, because it doesn't mean because we're 60, that's it, our life, stops there. It doesn't. We should live to our fullest, right?
No, I mean, I have couples where I see both the husband and wife who are in their 70s, and I have one gentleman who's 80.
Wow.
So because they want to feel good, and they want to make sure that their relationship is still strong.
Yeah.
That's good. So we did talk before we start the interview about testosterone, because there is men that, because we are told that the testosterone levels start going down, we take pills to bring it back up. But you shared with me some side effects and things, the reason why I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, so I don't ever recommend doing oral testosterone. The way it's metabolized in the liver, studies show that it can lead to liver cancer. So testosterone should never be ingested orally. So if a man is going to do testosterone replacement, it should either be by injection or pellet form. So what pellet form is, it looks like a small little Tic Tac or a grain of rice that get inserted into the fatty layer of the buttocks, where it slowly dissolves in a 3 to 4 month time frame.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's the bioidentical form that I do. And I do that for both men and women. So with obviously, if we're doing pellets for women, doses of testosterone are going to be lower because women should not have as high as men. For women, the testosterone is going to help with the hot flashes. It helps stabilize the mood. It helps with those muscle aches and that pain that you can get. It also helps fight against osteoporosis. I've seen women go from having osteopenia and osteoporosis to normal DEXA scans, so that they no longer have that. They're no longer having to take medication for that.
Interesting.
So, and as well as with women, I am doing an estrogen pellet as well with that, so that they're not taking a ton of medications. And it is all bioidentical, so it's all natural and non-synthetic.
And this is all put on
It's all put in that fatty layer.
the fatty. Oh, okay.
What's nice about it is that a lot of times with different medications, whether we're talking with women if they're doing like estrogen every day, or men if they're doing a shot once a week, is you can get a roller coaster pattern where it's going up and down, up and down. So much like with men, where they'll actually crave that next shot, because they'll come up, they'll hit the high, and it will come down. And they'll just continuously go like that. And then with injections, they'll sometimes have to start injecting themselves twice. I've even seen 3 times a week for men. You also have to worry about with injections with men that their platelets and their blood becomes thicker. So you have an increased risk for heart disease and blood clots. So that's something that you would need to be monitoring and look for. So I like the pellets, also because they're bioidentical. You don't have those increased risks for them, and you just get to come up, and then you'll write it for 3 to 4 months.
Right,
As it slowly starts to come down, we insert another one, so you never fully bottom out.
Interesting. Yeah. I like that. Wow.
Yes. And what do I have to, that's one of the questions I was going to ask my doctor next, because I still have to take progesterone at night.
Okay, you do have to take progesterone at night if you have a uterus.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't put progesterone in the pellet because by taking, if you have it in the pellet, progesterone can make you sleepy.
Okay.
We don't want you to be sleepy all through the day. And by taking it, if you have a uterus, you have to protect the uterus with if you're giving estrogen.
Oh, because I take that at night and I sleep like a baby.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Dave told us, yes.
Yeah, I sleep like a baby. My husband is like, I don't know what's happening to you, but if I get like between 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because I'm in bed by 9, so I wake up so refreshed because I slept really well. I don't wake up except certain times, maybe once, but I sleep so well, and that's something that I was missing for a long time. So I just felt like I've been able to keep my weight off. I've been able to wake up and exercise, and I feel like exercising, where before I did not. Even going running was like, oh my God, Now I wake up and I feel like I want to exercise. I want to, like yesterday I told him my husband is out right now because he injured his elbow, so he has a soft cast on and stuff. And I said, I was the man yesterday. Oh, I did everything. I went grocery shopping, something that I don't do. I was carrying everything. I was putting together all these things, and I was like, wow, it felt really good.
She was the one prepping everything for her surgery after her surgery.
Yeah, it was great. Just having the energy to be able to do it. Where before I was like, you do it. I'll just do it later. You become a procrastinator a lot, and so I truly believe in this hormone therapy that I've been doing, and it's like I said, it really did save my life in a sense too. So how do people find out about this? Can people call you? Is this something that can women reach out to you? Can men reach out to you? Where and how?
Oh, definitely they can reach out to me. I do consults and insertions at St. Savant in Chino Hills. I have a place, it's in the shops in Chino Hills. It's about probably 20 minutes from West Covina.
Yeah, off the 71.
I
Yeah,
love
right
it
off the
there,
71.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And so if anybody is interested, is there like a website where people can go and read more about it, or how do we?
So the product I use is BioT. If you're looking for, I have an Instagram, but I'm not great at it. So Saint Savant has a better website, so I can definitely give you that information and that it can post on it. And then they can definitely go on there. But I'll also give you my Instagram, but there's a little bit of information on there. I am working on getting better at it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but just knowing how to get a hold of you, so that, because I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be interested in this, because I talk about it a little bit, but I'm not educated in it like you are. And if you're looking for someone, with experience that has been doing it for a while, I know you said you've been doing this for what,
18 years.
About 18 years. Wow, 18 years. Wow. And so,
and she's barely 25.
Yeah.
No, she looks great. I'll admit I'm 42.
No, she looks amazing. Is there anything else?
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you feel that, that we can, that maybe our audience needs to hear about this? Is there anything
we're not asking you that maybe you want to share?
Pretty much, if a person has symptoms where they don't feel right, if they just have been told over and over again by their provider that they're normal and they don't feel right, then they probably need to get their hormones checked, and they may want to come in for a consult and just to kind of see what's going on. Because I can tell you how many times, there's so many times that I've heard people that I've talked to someone and them just say, I knew there was something wrong with me and no one listened to me. And then we optimize their hormones and they feel so much better.
Yeah. So I do want to maybe bring something up. So some of the time that I was going through some of these symptoms, I thought it was more like a mental health issue for me. And I remember visiting a psychologist at that time, and he actually did diagnose me with something, and I was very shocked to know that once I started my hormone therapy, I didn't have that anymore. And because the whole time it really affected me that I was diagnosed with bipolar. That's what he told me, and I was very bothered by it because he has said, I guess because all the symptoms that I described to him, it just sounded like I had mood changes.
Well, he's following the ingredients.
Right.
That's what he's doing. You're saying this, and this.
And I was very bothered by that, but then then I started thinking about it, and the more people were talking about all these things about being bipolar, and I started really psyching myself out, and now it's like of course I've gone to a different person, and they're like, no, it was, to me, it was like almost like a mood stabilizer to have my hormone therapy started, and it wasn't something that happened overnight. It did take a little while to start actually working, but you do see results within the first 2 weeks. Yes. Am I right?
So the way it works is, I want to address two things. First of all, if you weren't bipolar in your 20s, you're not going to be bipolar in your 40s.
Yes.
Okay? It's not something that all of a sudden comes on.
Right.
Now, if it's depression, then yes, but you're not going to have a mood disorder all of a sudden just start.
Interesting.
There's something else happening.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, it's going to be hormone related. I have several clients that I've been able to wean off their antidepressants. Now, I'm not saying people should just stop their antidepressants. That is something you need to do with your provider, and it is a weaning process. Just stopping an antidepressant or a psychiatric medication, like cold turkey, can have very bad adverse effects. But I've been able to, with some of my clients, where we get their hormones optimized, that we can start and we can get rid of some of their medications.
Interesting.
Okay. But that's that. I'm very reluctant to diagnose somebody with something later on. If they didn't have something right off the bat, then that's the issue.
Yeah, and that's what's sad about it,
Yeah, sounds.
Yeah, that's what's kind of sad about it. So if I came to you and asked for a consultation, what is the process?
So normally what would happen is you come in for a consult, and I talk to you about what your history is, like what your medical history is, your surgical history, your family's history, where you are in your life, because I'm dealing with clients anywhere from 30 and up. So are you done completing your family? If you're not, how are we going to adjust for different things? I need to see you as a whole person to see where we're going. For like today, I did a consult for a woman who ended up having abnormal uterine bleeding, and I said, okay, this is something that we have to deal with first before we can move to the hormones. Because I'm not just going to put hormones in her and then there be an issue. I want to see the whole person. So we do a consult, we see where you're at. If you qualify for hormones, then I'm going to draw labs on you. I'm doing a whole hormonal panel, looking at everything, the 4 that we talked about. We're looking at them. Okay? If you're a woman, then I need a mammogram within the last year and a pap smear within the last 3 years. Because hormones, at least the ones I work with, are not going to give you cancer. But if there's a cancer there, any type of hormone there, any type of hormone at all, is going to make it grow. So I don't want to cause any harm. And so there are providers out there who will give without screening. But I'm not going to cause you harm. So I'm going to say, I want to screen. I want to make sure you're healthy starting off.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
like
that's how it's been for me. I have to have every year I have to have my mammogram and make sure that I have my pap smear and everything's clear. Yeah. So I just, I make sure that I keep up with that because that is so important anyways, to make sure that we have, that we're, staying monitored for everything because you never know.
Yeah, and then with men, I'm checking a PSA, which is for prostate cancer, to make sure we're doing well there. And I'm checking for both. I'm checking blood panels and liver and kidney functions, vitamin Ds. So we get that whole view. Then looking at the labs, I have your weight, I do a blood pressure, and I titrate your dosage. So the next visit, after I have all that, I can insert pellets. And we base your dosage off of that and kind of then...
And it doesn't hurt. And they're not painful. They're not painful at all. So, God, it's been so long, but it's like, before you know it, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done. It's not a whole surgical procedure or anything like that.
No, it's
Interesting.
done in the office. The men get more pellets, so they have a little bit more time. But the thing that mainly hurts is just the numbing medicine, and it hurts less than Botox. So
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting. Wow.
I know. Well, you know what? I really want to thank you so much for, coming on and educating us. I think we learned
I'm
a lot,
educated.
especially this guy.
No, well, because
You
you're
know?
right. I mean, I do get tired once in a while. I want to take a nap. I get fatigued and stuff, and especially when I work out, I notice that it's harder to lose weight and stuff now. I have to work out more, and stuff. So, but yeah, and we do once in a while. We use those things on Facebook or so. Are your hormones balanced? Maybe that's why you're not losing weight. But just hearing from you now, it's like interesting. It's like, yeah, your hormones got to be in alignment in a say, so that you're able to lose.
He's gonna be your patient. He's gonna be your patient. I have a feeling.
She makes me patient of everything. Everybody tests everything on me. Thanks.
That's not true. You're in the game.
I'm in the game. She's like, you're in the game. Next week, I made you. You're over there. I'm like, what am I doing now?
We've had him do filler, under eye filler,
Yes.
because his eyes were really sunk in.
With my Med Spa Deluxe. They do a great job. They do a great job. But now they're like, we should do this. And no, the guys, okay, look, guys. Woo.
Yeah, he's game to almost everything. Not everything, but he's definitely.
Now they're
game.
forcing me to get manicure, pedicures, all this stuff. I'm like, guys, stop. It's too many women here. We gotta bring some men in here.
Yeah, but with that said, we really want to thank you for being here and bringing that education to us and to our audience. We are going to provide all of Corry's information when we at the bottom of this podcast. And if you have any questions, please feel free to said okay if they text you, call you.
Yeah, they can definitely. And then if the office, if they're messaging the office can get in touch with me anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, come see her, and hey, let's all live great. We live a great life, why not, live it to the fullest and really enjoy the quality of life, moving forward as we, get, how did they tell my husband when they said, how old are you? Oh, you're, I'm just going to say an age, but that's not how old he is. I'm going to say you're 57 young. Instead of
old.
Yeah, so which was really nice. And but we definitely want to live a good life and our quality of life. We want it to be healthy and really enjoy our lives. So
I like it.
yeah. So
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. Thank you so much. We need to bring her back again after she takes care of you.
She's putting pellets in my. I don't have fatty parts, but I guess we'll put pellets there.
We'll find it.
We'll find
Well, I mean, the thing is that you can put pellets in the backside. You can put them also in the abdominal area
okay.
as well. So it just depends.
Wow. Wow.
And
Yes.
I in my practice is probably one of the few I have. Probably about a third of my practice is men. So it would be.
Oh.
So I do have a large male practice too. So.
See, you feel better now?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't feel left out, guys. Thank you, guys. No,
And with that, we want to thank our sponsors, Med Spa Deluxe LA.
Black Widow Investigations.
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, I usually do it. Why can't you do it this time? No, thank you to our sponsors. Really appreciate you guys. Med Spa Deluxe LA, of course, Black Widow Investigations, and hopefully one day we'll have Corry as well. Because then I know a lot of people are going to be very interested in this episode because I'm going to put it out there.
Yes,
and
yes.
stuff. So, but yeah, no, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and
And
we'll
don't
talk
forget to
more.
watch us, guys, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week.